With us, the European Union is urging Israel to hold back on its plan to capture all of the Gaza Strip. Benjamin Netanyahu's war cabinet has approved stepping up the military operation to take hold of the entire Palestinian territory and then a long-term occupation of the enclave. This Monday, Gaza's civil defence has announced 19 people were killed in Israeli strikes. Noga Tarnopolsky is standing by. Noga is, of course, our Jerusalem correspondent. A very good evening to you, Noga. Tell us more about this Israeli plan for Gaza, and I'm wondering as well what this might mean for hostages being held there still.
Well, let's start with the question of the hostages. The family members of these hostages and thousands of Israelis on the streets again tonight, both in Jerusalem and in Tel Aviv, say that the government of Israel has voted to simply kill and abandon these hostages. I'm not using those words lightly. They say that they're demanding a one-on-one families to chief of staff of the army meeting. They say that they heard this news from the media, and they say that it is a death sentence, that Hamas will have absolutely no reason whatsoever to negotiate with an Israel that says, in the words of its finance minister today, you should start to like the word occupation, and we won't leave Gaza ever, not even in exchange for the hostages. So they see this as a death sentence. That aside, I do want to say there's an enormous amount of confusion in the air. And without making light of the situation at all, I want to say that this Israeli cabinet decision is something like yelling at your spouse that you want a divorce, but then not filing for divorce. The Israeli government did vote, the cabinet voted on this decision. It passed a cabinet vote. This follows the announcement that reservists will be called up, and yet none of this is happening yet. And the government, the same government that voted on this plan, subsequently announced, well, we'll put it into place sometime after President Donald Trump's visit to the Middle East next week. Donald Trump is expected in the region, not in Israel. Not in Israel next week. He'll be in Qatar, the #1 sponsor of Hamas. He'll be in Saudi Arabia, longtime friends of the Trump family, and he'll be in the United Arab Emirates. So there's a part, at least, of this declarative announcement from today, which seems to be trying to get the attention of Donald Trump.
Noga, bear with us because there's more developments we need your input on. 6 strikes targeted Yemen's Hodeida port. This was reported initially by media affiliated to the Houthi rebels. They said that the strikes were carried out by Israel and the United States. Then Israel confirmed its warplanes were deployed. And all this comes a day after the Iran-backed Houthis launched a missile that struck near Israel's main airport, Ben Gurion, in Tel Aviv. Noga, what more can you tell us?
That's right. Well, the Israeli army did just confirm more than 30 planes were involved in a massive strike against the Houthi-held port of Hodeida. Apparently, what we're hearing here is that the port has been destroyed completely. The White House confirmed that it was informed by Israel ahead of time. It seems to have no problem with this. The United States kind of took the lead in these attacks against the Houthi rebels in Yemen, an arm of the Iranian regime in this region over the last few months. So this is the first Israeli strike in quite a while, and it seems to be an almost immediate and pretty massive retaliation for that missile, as you said, that hit Ben Gurion Airport and that has caused foreign airlines to very rapidly abandon Israel and isolate Israel all over again.
Noga Tarnopolsky in Jerusalem, as always, thank you very much indeed for your insight.